this perhaps is a major item in the budget which reflects the campaign promise of the APC and a party which calls itself a welfareist party. And this seems to be the only thing that stands out of those programs of the federal government. But how would you be able to, what are the modalities in ensuring that the man and the women at the grassroots directly benefit from this program?
Thank you very much. Excellent question, because this program is designed for them. And like I said, one of the things that we are ensuring is to make sure that this money is, the different monies are paid directly to the beneficiaries, from the federal government to the beneficiaries. So for instance, we are working with global agencies. We're working with the World Bank, for instance, on the conditional cash transfer, which is where we're going to, the government is going to be giving 5,000 naira every month, for this fiscal year, 5,000 naira every month to very poor, and vulnerable Nigerians.
How do you determine that?
And the World Bank is working with
How do you determine that?
Also the Bill Gates Foundation.
How do you determine that, Mr. Akonde?
Let me take one question at a time, Sheil.
Okay, go ahead. I was just asking how you determine
I'll come to
the
how
very
we
poor.
determine
Okay.
the people that we get it.
Okay.
But let me explain, how the money will be paid, and our collaboration with World Bank and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So we are developing a payment system, that takes advantage of the advances in technology to be able to deliver this money directly to those who are the beneficiaries. Now, so how do we identify the beneficiaries for the conditional cash transfer? And so World Bank has been developing what is called a social register. And by now, since we also came in, I think we have about 8 or 9 states that have already developed a social register of poor, very poor, extremely poor and vulnerable Nigerians. How do we come about the list? And so in each state, you identify a proportion of the local government that is known to be not doing well as the others, and then you go to those local governments. I think about 30% in each state. You go to those about 30% local government identified, and then you begin to go in the communities, and the communities themselves, they will determine, they will identify, their criteria, which are all objective, to determine that this person is qualifies. And we also have a redress system. You see, we have a grievance and redress system that somebody can come up and say, oh no, you can't give that person because this is why he's not qualified, and all of these things have been set in place to ensure that it is those for whom the program is meant that we get it. And so it's going to be done on based on global best practices, and that's why we are not just working alone. We're working with the World Bank, we are working with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and some of these agencies have some experience in terms of doing this. Government is very keen that these monies go to those who they are meant for.
All right, just quickly, if you, just in about a minute or so, if you can break it down. You've talked about 4 or 5 programs that this 500 billion will cater for. If you can quickly just run through it for us.
Thank you. So the first one, like I said, is the 500,000 unemployed graduates who will be given teaching jobs. Then there is 370,000 non-graduates but unemployed young people, who also will be taken through skills acquisitions. Some of them might be artisans. They will be trained and then they will be hired. That is the job creation. Then there's also the school feeding program, which is what we call the homegrown school feeding program, where we are going to make sure that over about 5.5 million primary school pupils will have 1 hot meal per day paid for by the federal government across the states. All of these have been appropriated in the budget. Now, we also have the conditional cash transfer, which is for the extremely poor, the aged poor, the vulnerable, and 1 million of them, 1 million of them this year will be benefiting 5,000 naira monthly from the federal government. The fourth program is the enterprise program, where government is going to impact the life of at least about 1.5 or 1.6 million people who are market women, market men, artists, traders, agric workers, they will be given very soft loans to improve their business, to take their business to the next level, and for new people who want to come in. And the interesting thing about this enterprise program that will reach, about 1.6 million people, is that it's going to be a rolling program, so that it's going to continue as we go. And then finally, we have the STEM education grant, STEM and education grant, which is where government has decided that 100,000 tertiary education students will get some form of educational grant, if they are students of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and education, so that we can begin to spur our people towards STEM, so that we can get into the technology game.
Thank you so much.
So broadly,
thank you so much.
Programs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akonde, for talking to us. But let me quickly bring to you some breaking news that is getting to us here on Channels Television. We have story coming from Cross River that the Joint National Executive Council meeting of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pegasan, and Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, have jointly supported the new pump price rate by the federal government. And this formed part of a communique reached by the two bodies at the end of the Joint National Executive Council meeting held in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. Well, some of the details coming from that communique is that the increment is a step towards the right direction, but says government needs to engage with stakeholders to work out a clear direction of how to invest the gains into the economy to cushion the effect of the price. Once again, the breaking news that we're following right here on Channels Television is a story coming from Calabar in Cross River State, where the Pegasan and NUPENG have jointly supported the new pump price rate by the federal government. At the top of the hour, I will bring you details of that. Many thanks for being part of the program. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye for now.